Sunny day, guys and girls. Hope you're all doing well on this Saturday afternoon. My name is Jacob. I'm bringing you another forecasted market outlook for the events on things happening in the market ahead. Okay, now before we get into it, of course, if you haven't already, please check out our website at litcapital.co.uk to get started on your training journey with us. Okay, if you're a beginner and you're looking to get into it, head over to our website and make an inquiry or contact us, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay. Now, of course, before we go into the charts, we're going to have a look at fundamental news releases just to see what exactly we can kind of expect from the market going into the second week of October, second week of the last quarter, the fourth quarter, of course. We had NFP on a Friday just gone, so we just want to see what we can kind of intel going into this week. Okay, so starting on Monday, of course, we've got a few speeches coming out of the US, not from the chairmans or the president in that sense, but still board members are speaking from Federal Reserve, and we also have the European Central Bank people speaking as well. So going into Tuesday, we've got retail sales for the pound, also Westpac consumer confidence from the Aussie, and then we have unemployment data coming out of the pound as well, GBP. So definitely interested in that for those that do trade, Great British Pound pairs and stuff like that. Definitely look out for what kind of concurs with that information. Nothing really for the rest of the day. Again, a few speeches coming out of the Fed, of course. Governor Bailey's also got a speech too, so interested to see what that says. So for Wednesday, goods trades balance coming from the GBP, okay, and GDP info as well. So interested in that. Going later on into the afternoon, we got a speech from President Lagarde with some PPI coming from the US, of course. And to top it off, we have FOMC meeting minutes. So that's definitely could provide some volatility. So for those that will be trading midway through on the week, definitely tune in just to see what the FOMC kind of surprises us with. Thursday, we got inflation data, core inflation data coming from the US. So again, another definitely looking to see what the interest on that is in terms of if the inflation is coming down or if it's going up, just to get a measurement on that, because obviously one of the main objectives right now from most of the central banks is to bring inflation down, hence why we've had all the interest rates hiking. Okay, so definitely got to tune into that and see what the outcome for that is. We also couple that with jobless claims as well, initial jobless claims. So Thursday looks busy for sure. Friday, we got inflation rate from China with some balance of trade as well from China. So that's the only high impact news I can see there. Going into the afternoon, we got retail sales, consumer sentiment as well coming from the US. So Wednesday and Thursday probably look like the busiest fundamental days. No, actually Tuesday as well with the GBP information as well coming from the employment data. So definitely tune into those, guys. I'm gonna head over to the charts now and probably start with the dollar, because we've seen off the back of the NFP data, prices have continued to push upwards. Okay, so what we was kind of anticipating in regards to we are still bullish. We haven't really had no reason to turn bearish. Of course, we had quite a big retracement, but again, considering now that that's kind of formed, we could have had the higher low set in, of course. So we could potentially be looking at a higher high to continue higher as well. So if that is the case, we still got a few areas before that we are interested in to see if price starts to break down, obviously. I want to look at this gap here that we kind of are in at the moment, just in case we just took out some liquidity that was resting here, and we are currently sitting within this 4-hour area. So we could potentially get a retracement one more time off the back of that. If that doesn't happen, I would then look to this higher area as well, just to see if we can take out these highs that are forming here. There will be liquidity resting there, of course, and then look to see if it will give us some retracement. But overall, on the daily and stuff like that, we are probably looking to see a higher high form. Okay, so that's kind of what I've got in store for at the moment if those 4-hour areas don't start to break down. Okay, so again, this area that we're immediately in right now is definitely something of interest. We just got to kind of wait and see when the market opens Sunday evening, Monday morning, what it kind of looks like. Okay, now I want to go over to GBP USD and start with the daily time frame. Okay, and we've seen very big moves this week back to the downside after having such a bull run after taking out the record lows. Okay, so the lows from 1985 have been swept. So all of the liquidity that was resting there from years ago. And then after that, we did get a great reaction to the upside. Okay, so there has been a lot of bullish action in regards to the pound pushing, but it's not really, when you look at the macro events that's happening within Great Britain and the UK, it's not really a bullish sentiment overall in this actual country. So coupling that with what's going on with the central banks and the inflation and stuff like that, there's no real bullish outlook for the pound right now, in my opinion. So we are still overall bearish. So going into the new week, I believe that this is going to be a key area. Okay, so we've had all of this move to the upside inside of this area here. If we are to kind of continue a rally to the upside, this is going to be an important area, in my opinion, because if we don't get no reaction within here, I just think that we are due to head lower again. There's no reasons why price has to stop where it stopped just because it took out the record lows. We can still anticipate price heading lower. So going into 4-hour time frames and things like that, it's definitely an area where we could potentially see, we have reason to see a reaction, of course, but whether that means we're going to continue the bullishness we've seen is yet to be seen. So going into here, as you can see, massive imbalance. Okay, we've got a lip lock here, which pushed the price upwards as well. So returning to this area again, kind of can see a potential buyers could potentially go long from here. Whether they're going to be short-lived or not is another thing. Whether we're going to make a new high is another thing. So let's see as we approach that area, and also have an eye on the dollar, coupling it with what we've seen with the dollar as well. We could potentially get a push from those areas. So lastly, guys, I'm going to look at US30. Now, again, very bearish moves on this pair in terms of what we can kind of see. A lot of shorts was happening last week. We've had a lot of moves to the downside as well. So with all that bearish price action that we had, again, we are in an area here off the back of NFP, which made price slide further. We are in an area of interest, of course, in terms of we could see a reaction from here. So looking at what price is doing at the moment, obviously price closing within this area, we could see two things happen. Okay, so as the market opens, we could actually come lower and sweep out the low from here, or we could look to then see a potential consolidation. Of course, we haven't really got much to go off yet, but if we start to see a consolidation and price start to accumulate here, we then could push back up out of this area to the upside. So whether we open and come lower to wipe out the low, that was kind of the last thing that created in terms of where we are now. We have to then look at that and then consider whether we're holding this potential area overall, or whether we want to continue lower as well. So with that being said, we are still bearish on indices. We aren't bullish yet. But obviously where we slid down pretty heavily, we could then also have a reaction, because this is where we kind of, if we go on a daily chart quickly, this is kind of where we landed in from an old area way back in 2020, I believe. Yeah, 2020, end of 2020, we landed in this area here where we had a massive push up from. So it could be just mitigating out of this area, of course. That could have been what we're seeing, because, you know, heavily bearish. We did come to this area on the 8-hour, of course. So whether or not we're, again, kind of similar to GBP USD, if we don't see nothing kind of formulate from a buy perspective in this area, we may actually continue to slide down, considering the trend is still bearish. Okay, so need to see something here as the market opens for us to actually obviously react off of it. There's not enough data yet within this area for us to kind of formulate a trade idea from, but nonetheless, it is an area where we've seen moves take off the prior week. So let's see what this new week holds in that regard. I'm going to leave that with you guys. The rest of the setups that we post, of course, will be in the Discord. To get access to the Discord, if you do want access, of course, please go over to our website and inquire It is a subscription fee of £25 a month. Okay, there's a ton of value in there, guys. So all of the things that we didn't go through, as well as the setup, they will be posted in the Discord, guys. Okay, so appreciate everyone for tuning in today. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, you know what you need to do. Please like and subscribe, comment as well. Be happy to engage with you guys as usual. And then yeah, that's a wrap for me, guys. So remember, of course, what we kind of just spoke about, we are in the fourth quarter, so things from a volatility perspective are due to start heating up before we close the year out and stuff like that. So now is the time more than ever to remain focused on the charts. You know the vibes, and remember, every day is money day. Peace.